Journey's 1986 album Raised on Radio. This was recommended to me today by a coworker. It's his favorite Journey album, and as somebody who hasn't listened to Journey album, much less a Journey song other than Don't Stop Believing, this is my favorite Journey album too now. I'm not necessarily a huge fan, at least I wasn't a huge fan of the arena rock sound, 80s rock. Not really something that I've been prone to listening to. But this album, 11 songs, it really speaks to me. Fantastic sound. I'll get into a little bit later. First off, I haven't mentioned this in a video yet, but I love the cover art on the album. This is clearly, or seems to be, a reference to the change of sound in the music industry in the mid to late 80s. We heard about this with Queen's Radio Gaga in their ode to the radio. This is almost similar style. A ballad, what the radio has meant for the generations that are producing the music now and how they don't want to lose that sound with the implementation of the technology that they are utilizing in their production. So going into the first song, it really starts off strong, really pulls you in. Girl Can't Help It is probably my favorite song on the album. Maybe Once You Love Somebody. But Girl Can't Help It really starts off strong. This is just a fun, it's uplifting. When I think about 80s music, this is what I think of. This is true 80s sound. Steve Perry, who wrote and produced this album, has fantastic vocals. I'm not necessarily a fan of the saying, people say they're born in the wrong era. But after listening to this and kind of absorbing the sound, I might be inclined to say that about myself. This is a sound on an album that makes me feel like I'm living in a coming-of-age movie. These songs have beautiful harmonies. The vocalization is fantastic. The instruments are fantastic. Guitar is out of this world. There's even some bass. I learned that Randy Jackson plays the bass on some of these songs. Once You Love Somebody, which is probably, like I said, my favorite. Really funky bass line. Going back a little bit, Suzanne is the first song where I really kind of just like got hooked on the guitar. Great guitar solo. Just keeps climbing the ladder and climbing and climbing. It's fantastic. Be Good to Yourself is a little, I know some of these songs were popular on the radio in the 80s. I did a little research just to kind of familiarize myself. Be Good to Yourself is a little cliche, not really necessarily to my liking. It's got this kind of cheesier, synthier sound. You hear it more so on other songs as well from the 80s. You know what I'm talking about. But it still means well. It harps on themes of love. It's longing for something and kind of just falling back on the synth, really. I love the sound of all the songs here. Some of them have this like epic bravado. Like Steve Perry's fantastic. His voice is incredible. Once You Love Somebody, we go to the bass. It's Randy Jackson. Fantastic. You got signature vocals from start to finish. Let's see. So I'm actually clicked on something there. Okay. You get to Happy to Give. Some of the lyrics are just gut wrenching. I don't know where the love is. There's a promise undone. Someone's crying in a room all alone. Shadows fall after the hurt is gone. Through it all, we love and we lose. I mean, these are just really powerful vocals hidden behind really amazing guitars and bass lines. Just overall, the album is really, really well done. The only note I had for the song Raised on Radio was great. And the only note that I had for I'll Be Alright With You, which Apple Music identifies as the biggest hit from this album, which don't even get me started. They don't even consider this an essential album for Journey, which seems crazy. I think a lot of these songs, per my research, it was double platinum. It was quite popular in the 80s. But once you get to I'll Be Alright With You, it does go back to this heartbreak, this longing, but then you just get wrapped up in the guitar. And I think the best way to describe the guitar, especially on Why Can't This Night Go On Forever, it feels like you're being taken away on an electric cloud. I will, without a doubt, be listening to more Journey. I think I've really found this new sound. Maybe I wasn't necessarily a fan of 80s rock. And I will say, I mean, despite giving this album a 10 out of 10, I did mention it is cheesy. It is kind of corny with some of the the stereotypical synth sound that you have going on there. As somebody who formerly wasn't a huge fan of this genre of music, I think that it's grown on me, and that's what makes this journey so great for me. No pun intended. This musical journey for me, to be able to be given a song or an album or an artist or band to listen to from another person, a different perspective, a fresh set of ears, to maybe get an idea of what makes that music special to them, whether they have a connection with a person or a time in their life or a place. That's what makes this so special for me, is to be able to talk to people about this and really just put myself in their shoes for 30 to 60 minutes while listening to music, kind of an escape from reality. So I don't want to keep you for too long here, but like I said, to wrap it all up, Steve Perry wrote and produced this album. Fantastic. Randy Jackson, classic. The vocals, the guitar, everything. I'm going to do more research on Journey and figure out more about them, listen to some more albums, and see if I can give them another 10 out of 10, because so far they're 1 for 1, and if you keep doing this, they'll be in my top rock artists of all time.